So the derecho was in August of 2020, and it came through, I think it started in Nebraska, and it was just straight line 100-mile-an-hour winds that came through and ruined a lot of buildings, silos, grain bins, flattened quite a bit of the corn. It did a lot of destruction, and it demolished a lot of our crop. Biggest challenge facing agriculture today is the changing landscape with the climate, with production practices that mesh together.
We settled on a theme this year of the changing geography of agricultural production, and one could interpret that word geography in a couple of different ways. And of course, we recognize that we serve a particular geography here out of the Kansas City Fed and the concentration in agriculture, but we've definitely seen changes over a longer time horizon in terms of where certain commodities are produced, how those commodities might be produced, and ultimately how supply chains respond to some of those change, policy and investment being an important component of that. We had farmers sharing their perspectives based on what developments they've seen with respect to severe weather, or how they've experienced changes on their farm with respect to production and growing conditions.
You know, when we realized last year, so we go all the way back to August of 22, and it stopped raining, and we've had like 7 inches of moisture since August 1st of 2022. And somewhere about January, I started talking to our crop insurance guy because I had this crazy idea that maybe I should plant milo on my pivot corners. So that's become the challenge of, are we going to get anything for that return on investment? And at the same time, we realize our irrigation costs are going up, and if we turn hot, you know, that's going to become a major challenge of trying to make sure we have enough water available.
A derecho is how we then got to the point of looking deeper and more in depth at the health of our plants, and realized we had some rootworm damage going on, so the roots weren't as strong, so the corn fell over maybe a bit easier than it should have. And so now we have a dedicated focus to making sure that doesn't happen again. Even though we know we can't stop the wind event again, that may or may not happen again, but we know we'll be as prepared as we can be with making sure that plant is healthy.
We've talked about sustainability for years as we're entering into what does that next wave of agriculture look like? How is it we're going to monetize that cover crop? And I think that's going to be the next big thing within, especially whether it's Nebraska or any of the surrounding areas. That'll be the next key driver of sustainability.